Electrocast.
Welcome to Tuning In to Sound Wellbeing, the podcast where Amanda, our sound therapy expert, unlocks the healing potential of sound therapy and tuning forks in wellness. I'm Stephen, your co-host, joining Amanda on this journey into the world of frequencies and vibrations. So whether you're a curious learner or a wellness enthusiast, our show offers you fresh insights and practical knowledge. Come with us to uncover the mysteries of sound, embrace new wellness perspectives, and experience the transformative magic of frequencies and vibration. Tuning into Sound Wellbeing is here to harmonise your mind, body and soul.
Hello everyone, I'm Amanda Mackay, your sound therapy guide.
And I'm Stephen, the curious learner.
And together we're your guides on this harmonious journey through sound and wellness.
That's right, Amanda. We're here to explore the incredible world of sound therapy and tuning forks, unravelling the mysteries of how vibrations impact our well-being.
In today's episode, we're exploring different frequencies and their effects.
I can see you super up for this episode today.
You know it.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I'm hungry for the knowledge, so let's get stuck into this tasty subject, shall we? So now, the first course is the segment we call Tuning In with Amanda.
Okay, so at its core, as we've discussed previously, a frequency is simply the number of oscillations or vibrations of a wave that occur in a given unit of time.
Okay, about a second.
Exactly. So the analogy of skipping stones across a tranquil lake and the speed at which those ripples spread across the water is their frequency.
Yes.
In the context of sound, it's how many compressions and rarefactions,
There's that word
those
again.
molecular dances we talked about earlier, occur in a second.
Yeah.
Now, why is this important?
That's a great question. Why is it important?
Well, different frequencies create different sensations and effects. It's like music.
Yep.
The notes you hear depend on the frequency of the vibrations.
Right.
Low frequency notes create deep, resonant sounds,
Yes.
while high frequency notes give us those delightful tinkling sounds.
Ah, right.
In the same way, the frequencies we'll explore today have unique impacts on our bodies and minds.
Okay.
So, what happens when we apply these frequencies to the human experience?
What does happen?
Well, that's where things become truly interesting.
Hey, speaking of interesting, you know what I found out this week?
What, Steve?
That babies, or infants more precisely, are more sensitive to higher and lower frequencies than adults, so they can hear more than we can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually makes sense, doesn't it?
It does.
So I guess you, as a curious explorer, are going to find out these very interesting facts from time to time.
Well, I wouldn't call it very interesting, but anyway, look, I'm interrupting your segment, sorry, and your flow probably, so look, please continue.
It's okay.
Right.
Now, let's start with the lowest audible frequency, 20 hertz.
Yes.
When you encounter 20 hertz,
Yep.
you might feel it more than hear it.
Okay.
So like a gentle rhythmic rumble. It might remind you of a drum. And at this level, these frequencies can resonate with your bones
Okay.
and promote a sense of groundedness.
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 There's a word.
It's a great word.
I don't know whether that'd count in Scrabble.
Maybe not. But as we journey up the frequency spectrum, we encounter the range of human hearing
Right.
from about 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz.
Wow.
So different frequencies within this range can evoke a vast array of emotions
Yes.
and physical sensations.
Right.
So for instance, frequencies around, say, 432 hertz have been associated with relaxation, love and healing.
Nice.
Yeah. You might have even encountered this frequency in a meditation or spa treatment music.
Right, okay, yes, I was interpreting it via my vestibular system in my ear.
That's exactly it.
See, I do listen to you.
It's the love frequency.
Oh, the love frequency. Wow, that sounds like a Prince song.
Yep. It does, doesn't it?
Yes.
And I used to love Prince,
Yeah.
but I don't think it is.
Okay,
the
duly
same.
noted. Anyway, get your flow going.
All right. So some believe it has the power to repair DNA and facilitate transformation.
Right.
This is the 528 hertz we're
Right.
talking about here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the idea that sound frequencies can have such profound effects on our biology is truly captivating.
It is.
Yeah, the transformation is the vibration of the cell. So that's what changes, and that's really what they're talking about when it's changing DNA. So it's not going to change your hair colour.
No.
Right.
What are you saying?
It's just, no, you've got a great hair colour. Now, looking at the science behind this, you might be wondering how these frequencies affect us on a physiological level.
Yes.
Well, it has to do with the way our bodies respond to the vibration.
Right.
Research has shown that certain frequencies can influence our brain wave activity. So, for instance, the alpha range from 8 to 12 hertz is associated with relaxation and meditation.
So you can't even hear them. All you can do is sort of feel them, and your brain knows that it's happening.
Yes, our brain is responding to it rather than our ears.
Via our vestibular system.
That's the one.
Right.
Now, the beta frequencies, 12 hertz to 30 hertz, are linked to alertness and active thinking.
Yes.
So when we expose ourselves to specific frequencies, we nudge our brain into these desired states.
Yes.
So it's potentially enhancing focus, creativity, and our overall mental well-being.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So it doesn't just stop at the brain.
You're kidding. There's more.
Of course, there's always more. Our bodies have their own unique frequencies. So each organ, tissue, cell, everything vibrates at its own characteristic frequency. So when these vibrations fall out of tune, it can lead to physical and emotional imbalances.
Right, yep.
So this is what we're talking about with the DNA repair. Say the heart.
Yep.
It's a rhythmic drum, and it's really at the core of our being.
It is.
It operates at the frequency of about 1 to 2 hertz when it's at rest.
Yep.
And when we talk about someone being in tune with their heart, we're referring, in a sense, to this natural frequency alignment.
Okay.
Now, the lungs, they vibrate at around 110 hertz when you breathe normally.
Right.
And because it's the rhythm that sustains you from your first to last breath,
Yes.
it's really important that's in alignment.
Okay.
Let's not forget the brain. Let's go into that a bit more.
Well, that would be ironic to forget the brain.
True. So, different brain wave states correspond to various frequencies. Delta waves are associated with deep sleep. They're the 0.5 to 4 hertz.
Yep.
Theta waves, this is usually through meditation. They hover around 4 to 8 hertz.
Right.
Alpha waves are, well, they're calm but still alert.
Okay.
And they oscillate between 8 to 12 hertz.
Okay.
The beta waves linked to active and analytical thinking
Right.
are around the 12 to 30 hertz.
Okay.
Now, tuning forks are like precision instruments for exploring these frequencies. They're designed to vibrate at specific frequencies,
Right.
just like musical notes. When we introduce a tuning fork frequency into our energy field or place it on specific points of the body, it's like sending that vibration to our cells and saying, hey, this is your ideal frequency. Let's get back into tune.
Okay, so that's the brain entrainment that we've covered off before.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not just the brain, though, is it? It's every cell, bone, ligament, everything in the body.
Right, okay.
Yeah, every organ, absolutely everything.
Right.
So the results are astonishing. So people often report feelings of like deep relaxation, reduced stress, emotional regulation, and overall sense of harmony. So it's like setting a reset button.
I wish I had one of those.
You do. It's a tuning fork. So, as you know, there are a number of different types of tuning forks, and different sets of forks are available.
Yep.
So, you might have a Solfeggio set of forks because they're really quite common in sound therapy.
Right.
And there's also chakra forks.
Yep.
Now, I want to combine these two types here and discuss the chakras
Yep.
in relation to Solfeggio frequencies.
Right. Okay.
So you may or may not know, chakras are swirling energy centers. That's literally the translation.
Okay.
And each has a specific physical, emotional, and spiritual aspect.
Each chakra.
Yes, it does. And the chakras also have their own unique frequency.
Oh, right.
And they affect the organs in that area of the body.
Depending on where the chakra is, right. Okay,
Absolutely.
So, that's pretty interesting. So what are the different chakras?
Okay, there are a lot of them,
Yep.
but there are 7 that most people know about. So let's have a look at those. So the base chakra, that's located at the base of the spine, associated with the color red,
Yep.
resonates with frequency around 396 hertz in the Solfeggio fork range.
Right.
So this is all about grounding and security and feeling at home and safe.
Right.
In the sacral chakra, this is just below the navel. This is the orange color. The Solfeggio fork for this area is the 417 hertz.
Yep.
So linked to creativity and passion and bringing things to life.
Ah, yes.
It's all about facilitating change. Now the plexus, the solar plexus chakra, is in the upper abdomen. This is the yellow color, and you might find the fork that resonates with this in the Solfeggio range is 528 hertz.
Right, okay.
This is your personal power, your self-esteem.
Yep.
It resides here.
Yep.
And this is all about transformation. So when you feel empowered, you are transforming those feelings and emotions that have been out of alignment.
Right, okay.
Now, in the heart chakra,
That's the next chakra.
absolutely, this is the green chakra. So the Solfeggio fork for this area is 639 hertz. Love,
course.
compassion,
Yes.
harmony.
Yes.
Forgiveness is a really big one. Usually it's self-forgiveness is the big game changer here.
Yeah.
And all relationships.
Yep.
But really, that one with yourself is the most important.
Yes.
Now, next we have the throat chakra, clearly associated with communication.
Okay.
So your Solfeggio fork here, you would use the 741 hertz. And this is about clearing and purification.
Yep.
So, being clear and pure in your communication.
Right.
The third eye, the next chakra, is located in the middle of the forehead.
Right.
So this is a nice purple color here. You might want to use your 852 hertz Solfeggio fork here, linked to spiritual awakening and intuition.
Yes.
Now, your intuition always increases the more you trust yourself.
Yes.
So this chakra is all about self-belief.
Right.
Because you really do need to believe the intuition that you're receiving.
Yes, of course.
So finally, we have the crown chakra.
Okay.
So this can be more like a white sort of color or an indigo, depending on which chart you're looking at.
Right.
It's just above the top of the head.
Yes.
Now you'd want to use your 963 hertz Solfeggio fork here.
Okay.
And this represents our connection to the divine.
Right.
So you might see this as just connection to nature. If God or universe are not your words.
Yes.
Okay, so the key takeaway from this exploration is that frequencies are everywhere.
They are.
From the hum of the universe to the beating of your heart. They're not just abstract concepts. They are tangible.
Life is hard, but finding a really great podcast makes the days go by so much easier. Hi, my name is Blue Telusma. I'm a writer, an emotional intelligence coach, and the host of Humanize with Blue Telusma, a podcast where we believe that when you humanize everyone in the room, a great conversation is almost guaranteed. Join us every week here on Electricast as me and my guest co-hosts unpack big topics and interview even bigger personalities with a sense of humor and a dash of mischief. If you're looking for a new best friend in your head, we've got you covered. Electricast.
Forces that influence us every day.
Yeah, right. Well, that is Very interesting. So another cracking tuning in segment there, Amanda.
Thanks, Steve.
So now it's my chance, finally, to ask some curious conversation questions.
Sure thing.
Yep. So hopefully you can keep me on point and on task.
I shall do my best.
Great. Let's jump right into it. So Amanda, we've been discussing the power of sound and how it can affect our well-being. We've talked a lot about the science and the sound of vibration, but now we're really venturing into some territory here with chakra frequencies and solfeggio frequencies. So for the uninitiated like myself, maybe, or maybe for someone who's only got like a passing interest in that kind of thing, can you give everyone a bit of a brief overview of what these things actually are?
Absolutely. So chakras are the energy centers within our bodies, and they're often associated, like I said before, with specific colors, notes, and functions.
Mm-hmm.
So the 7 primary chakras that we talked about,
Yep.
they're the ones that most people know about.
Yep.
So they run along the central energy channel in
Where's
the body, like in the middle of the body.
Okay.
Each one corresponding to different aspects of our physical, emotional, and spiritual
Right.
well-being.
Yes.
So the base chakra is associated with grounding
Of course.
and is often linked to the note C.
Okay. The musical note C.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Musical note C.
Right.
So we can, though, use solfeggio forks, obviously, like we talked about, to tap into these frequencies. Although it may not be the musical note.
Okay. Right. So that is very interesting. So how about these solfeggio frequencies? Like, what's the story with them?
Okay, so solfeggio frequencies are a set of ancient musical frequencies. They date back to the Gregorian chants that we were talking about in the last episode.
Yep.
And these frequencies have been used for centuries in various forms of sacred music and sound therapy. There's 6 primary solfeggio frequencies with unique properties.
Yep.
And there's also what they call the missing 3.
Right.
So there is actually 9 altogether.
Okay.
And so like what we've talked about before, the 528 is associated with that DNA repair.
Okay. Every cell in the body. Right.
Exactly.
Okay. So when we talk about tuning forks to work with chakra and solfeggio frequencies, how does this work? Is there any sort of scientific basis for it?
Yeah, great question, Steve. So when we use tuning forks in sound therapy, we're essentially introducing pure resonant frequencies into the body's energy field. Now, while the scientific understanding of how chakras and solfeggio frequencies interact with our well-being is still evolving, there are some intriguing thoughts about this.
Oh, okay. So tell us about those theories.
So, one theory is that each chakra has a vibrational frequency, and when we use the tuning fork tuned to that frequency, it can help to balance and attune the chakra.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so think of it as kind of a tuning for our energy centers.
Energy centers,
Yeah. There's also the idea that sound frequencies can influence our brainwave states, like we talked about, for relaxation, focus, and altered states of consciousness.
Okay, so that sounds like it has the potential to be very powerful, and it kind of alludes to the brainwave entrainment we spoke about last week and the week before. So are there any scientific studies or evidence that support those claims?
Okay, so while scientific research on sound therapy is still growing, there is some promising evidence.
Right.
So, for example, studies have shown that certain frequencies can indeed affect brainwave patterns, leading to altered states of consciousness and relaxation.
Right.
Additionally, there's research on the therapeutic use of sound, like pain management, stress reduction. There's also research on the binaural beats, which we discussed previously, where 2 slightly different frequencies are presented to each ear. Now, the difference in frequencies can lead to a third perceived frequency. This can synchronize with specific brainwave states like the alpha, beta, theta. And while it isn't precisely the same as tuning forks, it shows the potential for sound to affect brainwave activity.
Okay, so a lot of potential here, even if we're still in the early stages of understanding it fully.
Absolutely, Steve.
Yeah.
It really is an exciting field with a lot of potential for enhanced wellbeing.
Right.
But, I do recommend that individuals approach sound therapy with an open mind, with a sense of curiosity.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because the effects can be subtle
Yeah.
or profound.
Yeah.
They really do vary from person to person.
So there's specific frequencies or sound therapy techniques that may be more effective for certain conditions or for, achieving goals or stress reduction, pain management, or enhancing creativity.
Certainly, Steve. So in the realm of sound therapy, there's a growing understanding that specific frequencies and techniques can be tailored to address different conditions or goals.
Right. So can you break it down a bit for us?
Sure thing. So when it comes to stress reduction, frequencies, say, in the 432 hertz can be used. And this frequency does resonate with our body's natural vibrations.
Right.
Can induce a state of relaxation. And, sounds like the ocean waves or gentle rain.
Right.
They're so calming.
Yes. All of those sleep apps have those in them.
Yeah, they really do. So pain management,
Right.
these frequencies in the delta and theta brainwave range,
Yeah.
usually between 1 and 8 hertz,
Right.
they've really shown some promise.
Okay.
However, if you're using a tuning fork for pain management,
Yep.
as well as going and seeing a medical professional, of
Yeah.
course, I find the 174 hertz is the best one.
Okay.
So this frequency helps to alleviate pain. It promotes the release of endorphins,
Right.
which are our body's natural painkillers.
Yeah.
And the binaural beats, which I mentioned earlier, are sometimes also used in this context.
Okay.
So to enhance creativity and cognitive function, alpha brainwave frequencies, say around 8 to 14 hertz, are often targeted. So these frequencies are associated with your relaxed yet alert state of mind.
Okay. Yep.
So it might be soundscapes like soft musical sounds,
Yep.
like nature.
Yep.
Really helps people tap into their creative potential.
Okay.
So it's creative, but it's not the overthinking analytical mind at work.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes, because they are two very different things.
They sure are.
Okay.
Sound therapy can also aid in improving sleep quality.
It can.
So frequencies like delta,
Yep.
which is a half a hertz to 4 hertz,
Right.
and theta, which is your 4 to 8 hertz,
Yep.
can be useful
Yep.
for deep relaxation and promoting a restful night's sleep.
Okay.
White noise, gentle melodies, even specific binaural beats really designed for sleep can be effective.
Okay.
But Steve, also different frequencies can influence mood.
Right.
So maybe the higher frequencies like the beta, 14 to 40 hertz,
Yep.
they're associated with alertness and focus.
Right.
So they make them suitable for boosting productivity and
Okay.
concentration.
All right. So if you're studying, that'd be a good thing to do.
Yeah. Play music in that sort of hertz range.
Yep.
On the other hand, lower frequencies, your delta and theta, that's helping with your mood regulation.
Help you to calm down a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we discussed earlier, each chakra is associated with a specific node.
Yeah.
And sound therapy can be used to balance and align these energy centers,
Right.
of course. So, for example, your base chakra resonating with that Solfeggio 396 hertz, and the crown chakra resonating with the Solfeggio 963 hertz.
Right.
So, by using these sounds and these frequencies, practitioners are aiming to balance the corresponding chakras.
Okay, so different frequencies can be used to balance out different chakra points, but they may not necessarily align to the chakra's musical note.
Exactly. But it's important to remember the note effectiveness of sound therapy. Exactly, but it's important to note that the effectiveness of sound therapy can vary from person to person, and more research is needed to establish the scientific consensus
Yeah, fair enough.
of these practices.
Okay,
But, individuals do report positive experiences.
They do. We get a lot of feedback from people saying they've had really good experiences with it,
Yeah, with various conditions and different things that they've wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
But again, like I said before, when you go to a qualified sound therapist, also keep in mind you might need a healthcare professional.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So really tailor your treatments to what you need.
Okay, well that sounds like a very wise approach. So getting into the nitty gritty, how can our listeners, people out there using tuning forks, how can they work with these frequencies? Can you talk us through, say, a really sort of simple exercise that people can do themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to focus on a specific chakra you'd like to balance, let's say it's the heart.
Of course.
Yep, often associated with the note F.
Right.
And you might use that 432 hertz
Okay, but that's not necessarily an F note though, is it?
No.
Okay, so the heart chakra. Righto, let's work it.
Okay, so it's important to find a quiet and comfortable space, taking a few deep breaths to center yourself.
Right.
Activating your tuning fork by tapping it gently and holding it near your heart chakra, which is in the center of your chest area.
Okay, so like how near? Are we talking like a centimetre away or a foot away, or how far?
Well, probably just a couple of centimetres, so maybe an inch, depending on your metric.
Okay.
And that's so you can feel the vibrations, but without the direct contact.
Right.
Closing your eyes, and you're feeling the tuning fork vibrations, and you're imagining the heart chakra as a vibrant spinning wheel of green energy.
Wow, that sounds cool. So the visualizations is a part of it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Visualization can help the effects. So while you're doing this, you can also set an intention for what you'd like to achieve with this realignment. So whether it's opening up to love, forgiveness, compassion.
Right, okay. Well, that's really interesting. So how long should one do this exercise for?
Well, probably just starting with a few minutes.
Right, okay.
And then gradually extending the time as you become more comfortable.
Okay.
And just really listen to your body and your intuition.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. And, do you work like all the chakras or all the frequencies, or can you just focus on like one?
You can absolutely focus on one if that's your preference.
Right.
Or if you feel a specific chakra needs attention.
Yeah.
It's all about what feels right for you.
Yep.
So just focus on one so you don't feel overwhelmed.
Okay, well, that's awesome. So thanks for sharing that, Amanda. That's been a fascinating conversation as always.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we wrap up this Curious Questioner segment, have you got any final thoughts or advice for our listeners regarding chakras, solfeggio, frequencies, and just sound therapy in general?
Yes, I'd say just be open to exploration.
Yeah.
Sound therapy is a beautiful way to connect with your inner self and promote balance, well-being.
Yep.
It's a journey of self-discovery.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
So embrace it with an open heart and curiosity.
With arms wide open. Okay, so that really sounds good to me. Well, that was great. Thank you for answering all my questions today, Amanda.
You're welcome.
Okay, so that brings us to the Harmony in Practice segment of the show, where Amanda tells us what she's been getting into this week. So what have you been getting into this week?
Manifestation. Goal manifestation.
Beauty. Look, that's everyone's favourite. That's super trendy. That's like all over TikTok and things like that. So I'll be able to manifest that new car after this, will I?
Well, maybe. Potentially.
Okay.
So setting intentions is a powerful practice in manifestation.
Right.
It's about focusing your mind and energy on what you want to achieve. And when you add tuning forks and any sound therapy instrument to the equation, you can supercharge your intention setting process.
Okay.
So for everyone listening, you might want to write this down, only if you're not driving or exercising.
Okay. Yes, indeed. A word to the wise there. Just play back the segment later.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so firstly, find a quiet, comfortable space
Yep.
where you're not going to be disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a few deep breaths just to center and calm yourself.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, once you've done that,
Yep.
the next step is clearing your space.
Right.
So before you begin this manifestation, it's essential to really create a clean, energetic slate. You can do that by gently chiming the tuning fork around the room.
Right.
Corners are the great places to do this in the room.
Sweeping out the corners.
Exactly. So the sound waves will help clear that stagnant energy or that negative energy. And just imagine it as a fresh canvas for your intentions.
Okay.
Now, the next step, set the intention.
Right.
So now think about what you want to manifest.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anything.
Yep.
A new job, improved health, or more joy in your life. Be specific and clear about your intention.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down. That really helps.
Mm-hmm.
It creates a neural pathway, which is important.
Indeed.
So you really need to believe it.
Yeah.
Now, the next step,
Yep.
choose the right frequency.
Okay.
So, as we know, different tuning fork frequencies can align with specific intentions.
Right.
The 528 hertz from the Solfeggio scale is really great for this transformation,
Okay.
which would be great in any intention.
Right.
Now, next, sit or lie down comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Hold that tuning fork in front of you once it's activated.
Yep.
And close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to relax.
Okay.
So you've activated your fork. It's set to vibrating.
Yep.
Bring it close to your body and imagine those sound waves reducing any resistance
Yeah.
or limiting beliefs that you've got around actually attracting what it is you want to manifest.
Right. Okay.
Next step,
Yep.
visualize that intention.
Right.
So as you're immersing yourself in the sounds, visualize what you want to achieve as though it's already happening in your life.
Right.
Feel the emotions associated with it. All of those beautiful feelings like joy, gratitude, excitement. Let those feelings fill your body.
Yep.
Now, the next step, merge with the sound.
Right.
So as the tuning fork's vibration continues, feel yourself really resonating with the sound.
Right.
Your intention is harmonizing with that frequency
Yeah.
and creating a really potent connection. Now, next step, release and trust.
Yes.
When you feel ready, gently set the tuning fork down and take a moment to thank the universe for supporting your intention.
Okay.
Now, trust the process has begun, but there is another important thing to remember here.
Okay. Yes. What's that?
You may not get your intention and your manifestation exactly how you think it's going to become
Right.
into your life. So be open.
Okay.
So,
this is trusting in the universe that it's going to release what you want.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Maybe not exactly how you picture it, but it'll be there.
Okay.
And the really important thing to remember is don't manifest from a place of lack or fear,
Right.
because that is what you're going to manifest.
You're going to manifest the fear and lack.
Exactly. Your
Okay.
intention needs to be clear of fear, of lack, and scarcity.
Okay.
Now, take action.
Yes. Now that's a big one because I think some people kind of go, ding, okay, I've asked for a bigger house. Ding, I've asked for $1 million. I asked the universe. It's been 3 days. I still haven't got anything.
Yeah, that's right. Doesn't work that way. So remember, manifestation often requires action on your
Yeah,
part.
yep.
So be open to opportunities.
Yeah.
Follow your intuition. See the opportunities no matter how small or insignificant they might seem. The tuning fork has set the intention in motion, but you really must take steps towards your goal.
Yep.
So look for those guideposts of opportunities.
Right. Okay. Will do.
All right. Now, to wrap it up,
Yep.
gratitude and appreciation.
Right.
End your session with appreciation. Appreciation amplifies positive energy and attracts more of what you want.
Right.
Take a moment to thank yourself for your dedication to your goals.
Thank you,
and
me.
the universe for its support.
Okay, well, I'm all over this. So I'll pick you up for next week's show on my new car, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I'm just happy for a ride no matter what the vehicle.
All right, that's good. All right. So another great harmony in practice there, Amanda. Now, just a couple of questions we've got this week from some listeners, if you're up for answering those.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, we love these questions and feedback. So we've got David from Sydney. Now, he says, I just recently purchased a set of Solfeggio forks. They're made of an aluminium alloy, which is pretty normal for a tuning fork. So what's the best way to care and clean them and keep them looking shiny and new?
It is a great question from David. Okay, so aluminium forks are really durable.
Yeah.
And they really shouldn't need a lot of care.
No.
But you can clean them.
Yep.
So some warm water,
Yep.
a few drops of soap or
Yep.
dishwashing detergent,
Yep.
and just really clean them under some running water.
Yep.
Maybe use a soft cloth.
Yep.
You can also use alcohol wipes,
Right.
particularly on the boots if you're putting them on your face
Oh, of
and
course,
things
on
like
your
that.
body
You
and
really
stuff.
want those
Yes.
clean.
Yeah, you do.
So to clean in between the tines of the fork, which are the prongs, you could use a cotton swab just to get rid of any dirt that might be sitting in there or something like that.
Yeah.
Make sure your forks are always dry.
Yep.
If you've got a weighted fork, don't get the weights wet. You don't want water to get stuck in there.
Right.
You can polish the forks
Yep.
if you really want a high shine,
Yeah.
but use a non-abrasive metal polish.
Yes, okay. Might want to test it before you do too.
Yeah, I don't know too many people that do that, but
No.
you can just be really gentle with that.
Yes, okay.
So, after cleaning them, you can keep them in your fork pouch or,
Yep.
in a drawer.
Yep.
But just remember to be a bit gentle with
Okay,
them.
dry and dust free.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so gentle. Very good. All right. So we've got time for one more question. And this is Angie from Brisbane. Hi, Amanda. I've just got some new forks and I've heard about using them for chakras. What a great question, Angie, because that's what we've been talking about this whole time. So she asked, can you recommend specific frequencies or techniques for aligning and balancing the chakras effectively?
Absolutely. So we have touched on this, but let's go into it a little bit more.
Okay.
So chakra balancing with tuning forks can be a powerful practice. So let's go into some specific techniques you can use for aligning and balancing these chakras.
Right.
So the base chakra, this is all about feeling safe and secure. So you might want to use the fork, activate it, hold it either behind at the base of the chakra or in front of you, just moving the fork out from the body.
Right.
And you might want to repeat a little mantra to yourself that I am safe and secure. When we work with the sacral chakra, that's the next one up, the orange, you can use your tuning fork there and again activating it. Your mantra might be, I am creative, I can bring amazing things into my life. Whatever feels really right for you in that area.
Yep.
With the solar plexus, this is always your power center.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing about this center is it also holds the vibration of the relationships you have with your parents.
Ah, okay.
Which is, it's a really fascinating chakra to work in. So, if you've had in the past, it doesn't have to be current, any sort of
issues?
with your parents, you could work in this area too and just send them some love, maybe a bit of forgiveness. As a parent, they probably were doing the best they could at the time.
We all try.
Yeah, I mean, if there's some bigger things that happened, you can just retune that vibration in that area as well.
Right.
So with the heart chakra, activating your fork, holding in front of the heart chakra. If you've got a weighted fork, hold it on the heart. So in here, there can be some heartbreak, disappointment. If you have trouble breathing or some asthma, this is really the chakra to be working in as well. With the throat now, who doesn't need help with communication? So you can hold this fork in front of the throat or on either side.
Yep.
And this will help dissipate any emotions where you feel like you might have to filter yourself to please other people.
Right.
Now, that's pretty popular. Most people are, modifying what they're saying in some aspect.
Yes.
The third eye, as we said earlier, this is all about trusting yourself.
Right.
So activating your fork, holding it in front of the third eye, which is in the center of the forehead, and just moving it away from the forehead. So in any of these, if you're feeling like, there's a little bit of resistance, just keep going. I trust myself. Then moving on to the crown chakra. So you hold that one just above the head.
Right.
So this is really clearing limiting belief systems.
Okay.
So like we were talking about earlier in our manifestation, if you've got a limiting belief around, abundance or connection or anything like that, this is the chakra you want to work in.
That's where you go to.
Yeah, and you're just like moving the fork above the head and then eventually pointing it right up to the ceiling.
Right.
So when you work with chakras and tuning forks, it really is essential to focus on the intention, visualize each chakra as balanced in a harmonious state as you're using the fork.
Right.
And you can also move like sequentially through the chakras, starting from the base and working your way up to the crown. That way you can achieve an overall balance and alignment.
Right.
But do remember that consistency in your practice will get the best results.
Yes, of course. Practice makes perfect. Well, look, what great questions this week. And, of course, great answers. So please keep those questions coming in. We love the feedback. And any stories that you might have, too, about how sound therapy's changed your life or any tuning fork experiences. We love them all. So, well, anyway, I'm sorry to say that we're out of time and we have to wrap things up. So, Amanda, what's happening next week? And maybe you can give us a bit of a final thought as well.
Well, firstly, thank you all for tuning into this episode.
Some gratitude, that's nice.
Yeah, so we've explored the fascinating world of different frequencies, profound effects on our well-being, from the healing frequencies of the human body to the sacred vibrations of chakras and Solfeggio frequencies. We've delved into the science and magic of sound therapy.
Okay.
So next week, we'll take a journey into the realm of meditation and relaxation.
Right, okay.
We're going to discover how sound and tuning forks can elevate your practice to new heights. So whether you're a seasoned meditator or just starting out on your journey of self-discovery, don't miss it.
Okay, no, we will not. And have you got a final thought for us?
Yes. In the timeless words of the great philosopher Plato.
Oh, Plato.
Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. As we conclude today's journey through the enchanting realm of sound therapy and frequencies, let us remember the transformative power that sound holds. It is a gift that connects us to the cosmos and nurtures our innermost selves. So let the symphony of life serenade your soul, and may the harmonious vibrations of sound lead you towards greater well-being.
All right, a philosophical finish. That's brilliant. Well, look, thanks again, everyone, for tuning into Sound Wellbeing. Please reach out to us via Facebook and Instagram, or contact us via our website, which is biofeelbeing.com.au. And from all of us here, stay tuned, and we'll talk again soon.
Welcome, explorers of the human experience. This is Let's Talk Soul, and I'm your host, Claudia Monticelli. We're not afraid of the great mysteries of existence here. Soul versus consciousness, we're on it. Spirituality versus science, we've got that covered too. Join us in navigating these profound topics with wisdom, curiosity, and a dash of audacity. Whether you're a spiritual veteran or just starting your journey, Let's Talk Soul is your passport to the unknown. Let's Talk Soul, diving into the depths of the human spirit. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Ringside with Ray and Prince. My name is Ray Leonard Jr.
Oh, is that the set? No, that's just my dad.
My name is Prince Daniels Jr.
Daniels again with a big home touchdown.
On this show, we come to humanize
Athletes, entertainers, business executives. We're going to see what makes them tick.
Tuesdays, 10 a.m. Pacific time on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll see you there. Peace and power.
Electricast. Electricast.